The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. We heard that there was tension between Nigeria and Our All in Us because according to the communique Our All in Us brought out that Nigeria used their airspace without authorization, and Nigeria also came out with a claim that it was a technical issue and they were forced to land in Bobo Dioulasso, Burkina Faso. And according to reports also that the aircraft was heading to Portugal and not coming from Benin. But it has turned out that whatever information Nigerian Air Force put out wasn't true because Portugal denied any visit of the Nigerian Air Force. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has rejected reports that the Nigerian acting head of mission in Portugal was summoned by the Portuguese government over the movement of a Nigerian Air Force aircraft scheduled for maintenance in the European country. Informing journalists on Friday in Abuja, ministry spokesperson Kamibi Mbiemfa described the claim circulating online as entirely false. The alleged summoning of the Nigerian ambassador in Lisbon by Portuguese authorities over a Nigerian Air Force aircraft heading to Portugal for maintenance is fake news. The clarification follows heightening attention on the C-130 aircraft that made an unplanned landing in Burkina Faso earlier in the week. Nigeria, we saw the headline coming from the Nigerian Armed Forces claiming that the aircraft wasn't from Benin as it was reported in the news, but the aircraft took off from Nigeria and was going to Portugal. And now we are having these same people coming out to tell us a different story concerning the same aircraft. This clearly shows that whatever Our All in Us put out there is nothing but the truth.
It all started when a Nigerian military aircraft made an emergency landing in Burkina Faso after allegedly crossing into their airspace without permission. The Burkinabe authorities decided to ground the aircraft, and the Nigerian military personnel on board were held. Of course, this caught the attention of many people, especially since these kinds of situations between countries don't happen often. The Nigerian government then came out and made a statement to explain what happened. They claimed that the aircraft was actually headed to Portugal. The Nigerian government stated that the aircraft had made an unauthorized crossing into Burkina Faso's airspace, but that it was supposed to be on its way to Portugal, presumably for some diplomatic or technical mission. They said it was just a mistake in navigation, and it wasn't anything sinister. Naturally, when the story came out, a lot of people assumed the Nigerian government was telling the truth. After all, why would they lie about something like that? But hold on, here comes the twist. Portugal has now officially denied the Nigerian government's claim. They have come out and said there was no planned visit, no request, and no knowledge of any Nigerian aircraft coming to Portugal. That's right. Portugal straight up exposed what seems to be a lie by the Nigerian government. Portugal made it clear that the Nigerian military plane was not headed to Portugal at all. There's no record of any such mission or diplomatic request. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because here we are with two versions of the story. On one hand, we have the Nigerian government saying the plane was simply on its way to Portugal. And on the other hand, we have Portugal saying, not true, we didn't know anything about it. So, what does this mean for the Nigerian government? Well, it's a major embarrassment, to say the least. The initial statement made by Nigeria was clearly false, and now Portugal is calling them out. This leaves a lot of questions in the air. Was the plane really just lost? Or was there something more going on that the Nigerian government didn't want to reveal? The Burkina Faso incident itself is already a big deal, but the fact that the Nigerian government tried to cover it up by blaming Portugal just adds a whole new layer of drama. And this isn't just some small misunderstanding. The fact that a foreign country is calling out another government for spreading misinformation raises serious questions about transparency and accountability in international relations. Now, you might be wondering, why would the Nigerian government lie about something like this? Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? There are a few possibilities here. One is that the government might have been trying to protect the military's reputation by making it seem like the flight was part of an official mission. Maybe they didn't want to admit that their aircraft made a mistake by crossing into Burkina Faso's airspace. Or maybe there's more to the story that we're not being told yet. We can only speculate for now. But regardless of the reasoning behind it, this situation paints a bad picture for the Nigerian government. Lying about something like this not only damages their credibility but also puts them in an awkward position with Burkina Faso.
Portugal denies Nigerian Air Force visit rumor. Portugal have dismissed claim of an impending Nigerian Air Force visit, confirming no request or record existed of such trip. Remember, on December 8, 2025, a Nigerian Air Force C-30 aircraft on air route, according to Nigerian politician, to Portugal, made an emergency landing in Bobo Dioulasso, Burkina Faso due to technical issues. The Burkina Faso then detained 11 crew members, initially viewing it as their airspace violation and unfriendly acts. That is amending the regional tension within that area. The crew was thereby released and treated cordially. Planned order to resume the flights, but Portugal officially denied any request or record of a planned NFA visit, dismissing all the rumors from Tinubu government about it. Hasn't Nigeria accumulated enough global embarrassment with this Tinubu gangster government? Yesterday was a lie about investors. Today is another lie about Portugal Air Force visit. Tomorrow will be something else. How long can Nigerian people endure these criminalities? Let me know what you think on the comment section.
You see now, even Portugal said they didn't have any prior knowledge, like any arrangement with Nigeria to come and fix their aircraft. It's even Portugal have denied it. Like Portugal have debunked the news of Nigeria. They said they did not have any prior knowledge, nothing like that existed. Small, little by little, the truth will surface. See, I love my country, Nigeria, but what I don't like is our leaders being manipulated. That is what I don't like. I love my country. I will not hate my country for another country. I love Nigeria. But you see, these our leaders, they are the one that is see, they want to put us to shame, but God will shame them first. Even Portugal has debunked it. They don't have any prior knowledge. There's no arrangement with Nigeria ever before. So where was this plane going? Ibrahim, see, please don't release that plane. Just release those soldiers. Let them go back to, because they are following orders. But you see that plane, don't release it. Take it. Take it. It's a Christmas gift from Nigeria to you. Take it.
I told you earlier on that in Africa, the only leaders that will do nothing against us is Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. They are the only leaders that will tell the world the truth and nothing but the truth. Because this was the information reported on even their media houses in Nigeria, only for them to come out telling us a different story. So what is the mission of this aircraft in Bobo Dioulasso? If not, what are all in alls have kept out? So Africa, we need to understand that a politician will always be a politician. And in my video when Nigeria responded, I told you that we can never take whatever that was coming from Nigeria to be true, because the only people that will never lie to us are Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, because they are there to make sure that whatever politicians are doing wrong, they rewrite it to make everything good for us. So Nigerian authority denying this. So what actually is the mission of this aircraft that landed in Bobo Dioulasso? What were they looking for in Bobo Dioulasso? Where were they going to? And they have to end up in Bobo Dioulasso. So we have to come together and fight for that better Africa we are looking for. Enough of these things that we are going through. Why we are still the ones that are fighting against our own progress is something that we need to look into. Because like one time Professor Lumumba asked, who cursed the African? Who really did this to us? Because it's like we are the same people who do not want to be free, and other people are capitalizing on us not wanting to be free to continue to use us against our own freedom. Because these people don't come in person, they always do it through Africans and African leaders, and we have to fight against this trend. We love any other person except ourselves and our continent, and that is why when we see even foreigners in our continent, we are so excited. We don't fight them, but the moment we see our brother from a neighboring country, we tend to fight these people and claim they are rather foreigners on our land. When will we rise up as Africans? When will we fight for our total freedom? When will we be the ones to make sure that we cause a change and to set ourselves free? A lot of us still don't understand that the African is not free. And we are made to believe in the stories told by other people in order to keep you under control. But Africans don't know this. And we believe everything that these people say because they present themselves as the saviors of us. So always when we see them, we believe that they are our saviors. And they are using our ignorance to their advantage. And they continue to use us in order to please themselves. And the African who is looking for freedom, complaining about situations, always sitting down, complaining, and will allow him or herself to be used against the same thing that he or she is looking for. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Nigeria.